Hi everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Happy Tuesday night. So there's a super easy been working on for Bob. Had it a little longer than I cared to. He wanted me to go through the thing. It was in, pretty decent shape, but it needed a recoil spring, starter stuff cleaned up, that kind of good stuff. Needed to do a duckbill valve in the fuel cap. The oil cap still needs to be replaced. Make sure I get this to focus right. There should be an aluminum tube in there that holds the duckbill valve in place, and that's long since gone for whatever reason. You can't buy just that part, so this cap will have to be replaced. As it is, anytime pressure builds up in that tank from heat or laying on its side or anything like that, it's going to puke right out of the vent hole there. So that'll still need to be addressed, but needed a fuel line, of course. The grommet for the spark plug was gone, and that's the aftermarket grommet that I've sourced and I have for sale on my website. It fits very, very well. The outer edge isn't, it's like less than a 1/16 of an inch difference from the original, so not bad. What else did this thing need? Carburetor rebuild. That was actually the toughest part. So, it's a Walbro HDC. Fairly simple carburetor. Lots of them out there. But I rebuilt it, got it back on the saw, and ran it. Ran good, but I was getting a puddle of gas down in the carburetor chamber. And when I looked, I could see that it was leaking right from the top cover. So here's another one. There we go. It was leaking right around... Let's see, get this oriented right, as it would be in there. Right around this top edge right here. And so I tried cleaning everything up. Again, went through it and put a carburetor pump tester. This is just a pressure pump, but it's an original Homelite tool I've got. Put this on your fuel barb. You got to use a couple pieces of hose to make that tight, but when you pump it up, it should hold around 6 pounds of pressure for at least 2 minutes. Well, it was bleeding down in the span of about 15 seconds. So finally realized there was a defect in the gasket from the first carb kit that I was using. Once I put another one on there, good to go. So that's a discussion I'll have to have with my supplier on that particular gasket. But anyway, runs good now. We'll fire it up real quick. Other thing she needed, of course, was an air filter. And I'm going to use one of these new old stock ones that I installed a new grommet in. Again, these original filters, when you find them in the pack, typically are going to have a stain on them from where the rubber grommet deteriorated, like that one. So you just try and clean it up as much as possible. I have these grommets for sale, and I also still have some of these filters for sale, but you can see they just slip right on that stud. Right into place. There's a good positive seal there. About the only difference is this is fractionally thicker. So to keep your air filter cover from rattling, you got to crank down just a little bit harder to compress that rubber. But there you go. Bob, I'll get this thing drained and get it heading your way.